Hi, it's Ruth here again from English Test Help. Today we're going to learn how to talk about your interests. You only need 5 minutes a day, 5 a day, to improve your English. Read with me. I really like hiking. Most weekends I do a hike in the forest or along the coast. I like hiking because it feels good to be out in nature and at the same time I do my exercise. I prefer hiking by myself, but sometimes I'll go with a friend. Hiking can be dangerous sometimes, so you have to be prepared with the right shoes and first aid. I love going to concerts. Did you hear that stress? I love going to concerts. I love a live music concert. I really appreciate watching the musicians play the musical instruments. They are so talented. The only bad thing is that it is quite expensive. Some concerts are $200. I like a few different musical styles, so I'll go to a rock concert with thousands of people in the audience, or sometimes I prefer something quieter, like a jazz bar with only 30 other people. In my spare time, I like to read. I love to read. I love reading novels. My favourite books are fantasy novels like Harry Potter, but I also like historical fiction. Do you know what that is? They are stories that aren't true, but they are set in a real time in history, like World War II, for example. Sometimes I read all through the night, and then next day at work, it's really hard to concentrate. I guess you could say I get hooked by the story. In this 5 minute a day lesson, we're learning about talking about your interests. You will often have to do this in an English speaking test. I like to do something, or I like doing something. I like to play the piano. I like playing the piano. You can say it anyway. Sometimes it's good to say you like one thing more than the other. So you can use the verb prefer. I prefer dogs to cats. I prefer playing the piano to reading a book. Sometimes and then the verb. Now, sometimes is an adverb of frequency. It refers to time. When you talk about your interests, also mention how often you do it or when you do it. I go hiking on the weekends, or every morning I walk my dog. Then give extra information using because. I like baking cakes because I keep my friends happy. My favourite thing to do is singular. My favourite things are plural. Get the simple things right. I'm hooked. Did you hear that expression? Or I get hooked. I'm hooked. That means you love it so much you can't take yourself away. I get hooked in a really good movie. And lastly, make sure you use lots of adjectives and adverbs like it's really cool, it's so expensive, it's quite long, and it's very exciting. Thanks for spending 5 minutes a day to improve your English.